Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video. We are working on in-the-game animation sample. This will probably be the final video for our targeting system until I figure out a way to make it absolutely perfect. There are some issues with the way to do it. I think because the targeting system that we made, and I guess what a targeting system in general in this case, fights a little bit against the game animation sample, because we want to rotate towards the target and the mesh of the game animation sample wants to rotate in another direction and so on. It kind of works, but it's a little bit snappy and it stutters a little bit sometimes. You see there's like a threshold here where it snaps a little bit, and yeah, there's something we can fix and some things we can't fix, but let's make it as nice as possible before moving on. So we need an event for when the targeted character dies. We need a way to stop stuttering when we are standing still and locked on, and we need a way to decide what we want to lock onto, because now I can lock onto anything. So there's a couple of things. So first and foremost, if we go into our targeting, the function is called toggle aiming. No, not toggle aiming, toggle lock on. There we go. Find closest actors. We get these. So let's add a find closest actors. Let's duplicate this. Find closest actor with tag. No, actually, we don't do that. It's this one. Where do we set this? Update targetable actors. Here. We only want to do this if actor has tag. Targets. So go into our master MC. Tag target. Let's see. See, it hits the other player, but I cannot target this one anymore. And then I go here, and now I can target this one. So that's step one. For now, only find actors with the target tag. This should check for factions / enemy on the future. So this is where we would compare like factions. Maybe we can only target enemies or whatever. But let's just do target for now. Then we want to go to here. So there is a slight stutter, and also I can move a lot. It depends. You don't have to interpolate. If I don't interpolate, we won't be able to move the actually, so if I don't interpolate, we're gonna snap the camera. That's it's not very beautiful, but we can't move the let's see, maybe that's the snapping. Okay, maybe I found something here. We want to interpolate at least. That's the first thing. We do want to interpolate because that gets rid of the snapping when we start to lock on. So you can see we now turn smoothly. So that's what we want to do. Okay, so we know that. We do want to make sure that this only happens on the client that we are actually controlling. This get player controller will always get your own player controller. So if this is triggered on another character, you will set the control rotation of yourself anyway. So these get play controller nodes are a bit dangerous when doing multiplayer gaming and multiplayer developing, or at least you have to think a little bit where you actually use them. So we will do get owner. Actually, we already have the owning character. We will just make sure that it's locally controlled so that this only happens on the owning client. It should be fine anyway, because the toggle lock-on input is only happening on the client, and that's what actually sets the ticks to be enabled anyway, so it should be fine. But just a security check. Security check to make sure the lock-on rotation only happens on the client. Since the set control rotation is replicated. There we go. This one is replicated anyway, so this only needs to happen on the client, and it will automatically update on the server and the other clients as well. It's my understanding. Could be that we need to set this on the server, but it didn't look like there was any issue. So the next part is then... Oh, maybe I was talking a long way away from the mic. Sorry about that in that case. The next thing we need to do is only if these are not equal to each other. With a tolerance of 0.1, maybe. Just want to see, print string. They maybe never actually get there. Yeah, exactly. So now we are not rotating, but the character is still stuttering. That's interesting. So that's not the issue. Interesting. I wonder, so it's the tick itself then. That's interesting. Only do this if weapon trace is true, because I just want to make sure that this one doesn't, because this also sets rotation, so it could be that we were actually setting the rotation. That could be why it's snapping actually. Let's see. Yeah, that actually looks way better. Okay, there we go. That solves a lot of issues. Okay, good. I should have thought about that before. So the since we enable tick on both when we do attack and when we lock on, so it could potentially conflict now, because if I attack here, it's gonna turn off the tick. So maybe we should probably actually have the tick. Since we do several things here on the tick, we should probably always have the tick now and just branch check for each of them. So let's do that in a future video. I think we should do like this. Sequence. So we only do this if we attack rotate, and we only do this I don't know. Not sure where to put it. Like so. The struggle. That's fine for now. Let me see. It might be that we actually ruined the attack rotation now, though. Yeah, because the weapon trace is actually slower. Yeah, so we want another one. So B weapon trace, B. There we go. This one already does weapon trace. So we're gonna do attack rotate from this one. There we go. And then we're gonna remove all of those tick. It's a slight performance hit to have tick on all the time, but we don't really have a lot of choice, and it's probably not gonna ruin too much. Since it's just the hero actors as well. It's just a couple of actors ticking. And we are actually... We can do one thing. Because we replicate all the functions here anyway, right? So the tick only needs to run on the owning client. So we're just gonna make sure that it's disabled by default, and then we're gonna get the owning character here is locally controlled. So set component tick enabled and enabled. So it will be true in the owning client and false otherwise. So only the owning client will tick, which will save some performance as well. And let me just see if that works. Oh wait, we need to actually set the... This still works and looks nice. Now when we attack... Where did we set it? I think it was here, right? So attack rotates it true. I need to look at how that looks. Weapon trace false. Attacks. Input disabled. Okay. So let's assume we stop rotating when the weapon trace ends. So here. And then we need to go to our tick again. And get the locked on. And only rotate is locked on is false, because then if we are locked on, we will rotate with the lock on towards the character instead. So now we're locked on. You see, now we rotate towards this one. There we go. Infinite loop, nice. How does this infinite loop? Is actor in front? Okay. How does this infinite loop? Interesting. Let me pause and see where that comes from. All right, I am back. So we need to add this check as well here. So only try to target another actor if there are more than one actor in the targetable actors array. Because otherwise, if there's only one actor in this array, that means we're trying to target ourselves all the time, so it creates an infinite loop. There we go. So that seems to work. So you see I can target, and then I can attack. And now no infinite loop. Question is, why is it not rotating though? I see. Okay, so we need to also attack rotate when this happens. So if attack rotate is true, So if attack rotation is true, need to update this get delta seconds variable, and not. We're gonna find look at rotation here. Like so. So just copy this from the attack rotation function. So if attack rotation is true, we're gonna actually rotate the character instead, because the control rotation doesn't work over the root motion, basically takes over. The root motion takes over, and so the set control rotation that we're doing otherwise doesn't work over the root motion. So we need to manually actually rotate the character when attacking. So this is control rotation. We're rotating towards control rotation, and as soon as I attack, we're actually rotating the character towards the lock-on target. And yeah, that doesn't matter. We combine. We don't need the offset in this case because we're only using the yaw anyway, so that's fine. And this is automatically replicated. The set actor rotation is not, so we need to use our replicated function for that. And that's pretty much it for this one, I believe. Did I forget something? I mean, it's turned out quite well, no? We need to add a function as well for, like, if we kill this actor. The lock-on needs to stop and find another one. So we'll do that in a future video, either when we get to killing NPCs or when maybe I'll do another video. Just one quick fix here. That's been bothering me. Target, where do we do the lock-on widget? Is it in this one? Ah, where did I put it? I know I created it dynamically. I do not know where I created it dynamically. Here, set up targeting widget. Lock on widgets. Mesh. We are mesh targeting to the mesh. That's weird then. See if that works. Oh, what happened now? Is it that widget? I want it to be. Let me pause quickly. Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to attach the widget somewhere better because it moves now when I attack. I want it to stay in place. I'm gonna do that in another video. It's getting late here and I need to go to bed, and I will try to remember doing that in a future video. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.